Do you think before you post? You might automatically say yes, but let me give you a few questions to ponder just in case. So, these are some questions that you should ask yourself every time you post. So, number one, could I offend somebody with this post? Now, there's some people who are a little bit more comfortable being offensive online, and more power to you, but most businesses don't want to offend anyone. So, look at your post and say, is there anyone who might feel offended or discriminated against with this post? For example, is there racism, sexism, cultural appropriation? Is there an inaccurate use of AAVE? So you need to be thinking about all of those before you hit post, because you might offend someone without meaning to. Number two, does my post have a purpose? So every post that you make should really have a purpose, whether that's to entertain, educate, inform, motivate. Whatever that purpose is should be there. And if you can't really answer that, then your post might not be adding value, and it might actually subtract value from your social media presence. And then number three, I want you to think about grammar and punctuation and appropriate phrasing. So an example of that, like a lot of people will say, I could care less. What they really mean is I couldn't care less. That is an inappropriate use of that phrase, but it's common, so don't feel bad. I've done it before. But when you go over your post, kind of go over it word for word, line by line, and don't be afraid to Google it. I mean, gosh, I would be so embarrassed if anyone saw my Google search history, but it has saved me from a lot of embarrassing social media posts of using things improperly. It can just be a really quick way to turn people off when they're exposed to your brand on social media. Now, the last question I want you to ask yourself is, could this post be plagiarism? Is there a copyright infringement? Those are a couple of important questions to ask from a legal standpoint. So a lot of people, for example, will pull memes just from anywhere across the internet. And there are certain protections against like creative licenses and things. However, if you're posting from a business and you could potentially profit from it, that's when copyright really becomes a problem. So you don't want to just be pulling photos that you don't have the rights to from the internet. You also don't want to be caught plagiarizing from somebody else. So those are just a few questions that I want you to run through every time you post on social media, and just to make sure that you don't get yourself in any hot water.